There is a long history of writing about the Arab Muslim world, and one of the obsession of Western writers, travelers, even before the emergence of cinema, in visual culture, in paintings, in novels, in diaries, was the focus on a particular site, and that was the harem. The harem, as most travelers did not have access actually to what was called the harem, because harem literally means forbidden space, or the haram, the places that Western travelers usually did not have access, because that was the private communal space of households. But most of the Orientalist imagination was usually focused on the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire and this rich or luxurious spaces, and many of the narratives exaggerated, as it were, the idea of female spaces. In a sense, one can think about harem spaces as participating, or at least how they were represented in popular culture, as a form of soft pornography, because often the emphasis was about sapphic relationship, or about spaces that one man had access to many women. And it is not simply about whether those spaces actually existed or not, but that the fact that this was the focus of most Western travelers, and especially on the screen, for example, in films like The Thief of Baghdad, The Sheik, what you usually have is the Arab male as dominating the space. But it's very interesting to see that in most films, even when they're not set in the Orient, you have what one can call harem structures. So the films are not about harems, but think about Busby Berkeley musical numbers. They're full of women dancing, and then there is one man singer. Then this man is surrounded by those women, and those women become kind of participate in a harem-like space. And I think if you think about it, then it tells you why there is this fascination with the idea of one man and many women. And then belly dancing, which actually is not called belly dancing in Arabic. This is really a French invention that had to do with French travelers to the East who fetishized one aspect of the body, danse du ventre, but really, if you think about it, every part of the body dances, not only the belly. But the emphasis on the belly and on sexuality was another way of relating to the Middle East. On the one hand, you have emphasis on veiled women and women who are not accessible, which is also the story of the harem. Because the travelers could not enter the harem, what they ended up also fantasizing is the other spaces, the spaces of belly dancing, and then the harem and belly dancing spaces in a sense merged into one space that easily can be seen as a pornographic space that largely has to do with the imagination of the Orient more than about the actual Orient. That even if you do have belly dancers, this is not the only way one can talk about the Middle East: belly dancers, harems, camels, deserts. That where one can call topographical reductionism, where a complex culture, complex history can be reduced to some icons, to some symbols, and everything is seen through those symbols and nothing else exists.